NetherRealm Studios Mortal Kombat 11 is out in April and already looks to be a bloody good time. Given the developer's reputation with guest characters, we just have to wonder who stands a chance of making it into the roster this time around. Here are 15 characters we'd like to see, along with one who's seemingly confirmed. BUGHUUL, SINISTER. Pretend the second film never happened, and BUGHUUL is actually a very underutilized villain. He specializes in hypnotizing children to murder their families, and then stealing their souls afterwards. Maybe his fatality could be filming an opponent being murdered and then stealing their soul away, before the obligatory jump scare on the player. If the cinematography worked for Johnny Cage, it might work here too. Alma, Fear. Alma seems like a no-brainer, especially given how terrifying she was in Fear. She could manifest in her young form, using psychic attacks and monsters to beat down her foes. Then for the heavy-hitting attacks and fatalities, her true self could emerge and drag enemies into another plane of horrors. Obligatory detonation of the whole arena before emerging from the ashes unscathed would also be cool. Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. Speaking about horror movie villains, there are so many great options available. However, it'd be criminal not to have Jason Voorhees. The signature machete for ripping apart fools, coupled with his utter brutality in kills, be it arrows or straight up disemboweling people, is perfect for Mortal Kombat 11. If we could also pretend that the 2009 film reboot didn't happen, that'd be great. The Joker, DC The New 52. The Joker has been a staple of DC Comics for a while now, to the point that the Batman-Joker hybrid seen in Dark Knight's Metal, the man who laughs made waves with his debut. For Mortal Kombat 11, we'd stick with the post-Court of Owls Joker. He's demented enough, intelligent enough, and looks pretty deranged with his freaking face stapled and zip-tied on his head. He'd certainly fit in with all the gore. SAURON, The Lord of the Rings. With Warner Brothers owning the rights to the films, why not have the Dark Lord himself appear? Sauron could prove an immensely overpowering force, summoning ring wraiths to tear apart his foes or just beating them down with his two hands. Would he need some tuning to remain competitive? Sure, but introduce a Ring of Power buff or something, we don't know. Blade. Sometimes you just need a vampire hunter with a katana and guns to save the day. Blade represents the height of said badassery, and thanks to his hybrid vampire status, he's more than capable of standing toe-to-toe with MK11's toughest fighters. For his fatality, we could imagine pumping foes full of syringes that make them swell up and explode, even if that only worked on vampires in the films. Just make it happen, NetherRealm. Terminator. You could argue for the T-1000. You could also argue for the T-101 and have good ol' Arnie lend his likeness. Personally, we'd go with the T-1000 and how iconic Robert Patrick was as he effortlessly cut through flesh and steel in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. The model's enhanced speed and strength were similarly legendary at the time. Then again, Arnie did give us hasta la vista, baby. Decisions. GARCIA HOTSPUR, Shadows of the Damned. Our main man GARCIA HOTSPUR had a cameo in Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, but that's not enough. With Johnson by his side, GARCIA can use a revolver, shotgun, and a variety of other weapons to end fights in Mortal Kombat 11. Heck, he could even use Johnson's motorcycle form to drag his foe straight to hell, where Paula can inflict all kinds of punishment. Ash Williams, The Evil Dead. Listen, it's simply absurd that Ash Williams hasn't been in a Mortal Kombat title yet. He may be some ordinary guy who's in over his head, but Ash possesses two things: a chainsaw hand and Bruce Campbell's bombastic personality. There's also the sawed-off shotgun, which covers the must-have ranged attack requirement for fighters. He's perfect. Doomslayer, Doom. Will it happen? Probably not. Should it happen? You bet. The Doomslayer and the upcoming Doom Eternal would have a litany of ways to decimate foes. While many of them would be ranged, be it rocket launchers, shotguns, machine guns, etc., we could see glory kills playing a huge part in combos. The coup de grace would of course have to be utilizing the Crucible Blade-like sword and Arm Blade from Eternal to chop enemies to pieces. ROBOCOP, 1987. You probably liked the new ROBOCOP, and hey, Michael Keaton was a baller in his role as a scummy CEO, but it's all about the old ROBOCOP and the ultra-violence that dictated his approach. His Auto 9, a 3-burst firing pistol capable of piercing armor, could rip apart baddies quickly. ROBOCOP was no slouch in combat himself, displaying superhuman strength and reflexes. Would he survive amid all the powerful beings in MK11? Probably not, but he'd still look cool. The Mask. From turning objects into guns to eating bombs outright, there may be very few people who could actually stop the Mask in a fight. Whether Stanley Ipkiss, the man behind the mask, actually gets bloodthirsty with it is a whole other conversation. Pennywise. It. The dancing clown himself, Pennywise, is an undying creature that feeds on fear, preferably that of children. Pennywise is capable of shape-shifting into someone's worst nightmares, but is plenty powerful otherwise. While it may be tough to get into the minds of the Mortal Kombat cast, plus the shapeshifter quota is kind of filled, Pennywise does have the dance. Oh, that dance. Judge Dredd. Dredd. If we can't get ROBOCOP, then please give us Judge Dredd. The take-no-prisoners attitude, utter ingenuity in eliminating swaths of heavily armed criminals, and the sheer force of will that Dredd embodies is a perfect fit. All we need is Carl Urban to lend his voice and likeness, and we're good. Sorry, Sly. Spawn. More or less confirmed by creator Todd McFarlane, Spawn does have fighting game experience. After all, he was once a guest character in Soul Calibur 2. Possessing a healing factor, super speed and strength, the ability to manipulate energy and warp reality, Spawn would be simply overwhelming. Add in his corny threats and it's the perfect combination of vigilantism and camp. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, please hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to switch on the notifications bell icon next to it. That way you'll never miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.